Heya Cryptozens, tonight's show, Solana Wallets Hacked. Stabenow Boozman introduced a pro-CFTC bill. It's 10 p.m. Pacific time. The date is August 3rd, 2022, and welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter. My name is Nikodemus, and I will be your host. The cover model, mascot, and co-host for this podcast is Tex, and together we take a nightly look at the crypto, NFT, and metaverse space and the industry that surrounds it. And keep in mind, nothing in this show should ever be considered financial advice. Crushing day for some mobile wallet users. Thousands of wallets were hacked in an attack that began on Tuesday evening. The hackers targeted Solana users. They drained millions of dollars from thousands of wallets. And it looks like an attack that was months in the making. Thousands of users lost over 5 million in Solana, ETH, and other tokens. This was an attack that stretched from Tuesday night well into early Wednesday morning. And this time, it's hot wallets. That's right, it looks like there was a private key leak from a mobile wallet. This software wallet, Slope, is believed to be the vector. On Wednesday, Solana's official Twitter account showed some initial findings. These findings suggest that, quote, it appears affected addresses were at one point created, imported, or used in Slope mobile wallet applications. And then they went on to say that this was one wallet on Solana, meaning the Slope wallet, and that hardware wallets used by Slope were still secure. Now, they aren't sharing any insights into how this started. Now, their Twitter thread continues, quote, while the details of exactly how this occurred are still under investigation, but private key information was inadvertently transmitted to an application monitoring service. And the one message that they definitely wanted to get out there from the official Solana status Twitter account, they wanted to make sure everyone knows Solana is secure. They said, quote, there is no evidence the Solana protocol or its cryptography was compromised. Now, the first I heard about this was in the context of a phantom wallet attack. A buddy of mine texted me asking me if I knew anything about a phantom wallet hack, and that's because some phantom wallets were drained of their Solana. But it looks like the fault rests with Slope here again. Apparently, those phantom wallets had some interactions with a Slope wallet. The phantom wallet team tweeted that particular subject today. They said, quote, there is no evidence the Solana protocol or its cryptography was compromised. Now, of course, Slope has responded. They're admitting that an attack took place. They admit that Slope wallets were included in this hack. That said, they're not going into any details and they're not taking any responsibility. They tweeted a response to Solana's team. They said, quote, we have some hypothesis as to the nature of the breach, but nothing is yet firm. We feel the community's pain and we are not immune. Many of our own staff and founders' wallets were drained. Notice that they said that they feel the pain and they're hurt by this too, but they're not taking responsibility. They continued, we are still actively diagnosing and are committed to publishing a full postmortem, earning back your trust and making this right as we can. At present, it looks like the attack is over. There were 4 wallets that were involved in draining crypto from any compromised wallet. From what the Solana status thread says, over 8,000 wallets were hit. Now, at first, people thought it might be an exploited smart contract. Maybe there was something hinky going on with the permissions. That proved not to be the case. That's because the transactions were appropriately signed, which would leave a body to believe that private keys had been involved. Which might be why Slope is saying that those wallets should be treated as compromised and that they should be abandoned. They're also recommending that the user create a new wallet with new seed phrase and then transfer that money to the new wallet, which, okay, I can go with, I guess. Just don't make it a hot wallet. If you take your money and you put it in another software wallet, you know what you're getting. Hardware wallets were not affected by the hack, and it's not like the hackers didn't have time. On-chain sleuth Zach XBT did some investigating. According to him, this hack was funded via Binance 7 months ago. That's right. There was a wallet on Binance that sat dormant for 7 months until today. And then today, it kicked things off by funding 4 different wallets 10 minutes before the hack began. Those are the 4 wallets that I mentioned earlier that are draining all the money. Right now, there is no clear answer as to how they were able to compromise so many accounts to the point of having the private keys. Multiple accounts that were affected. The only thing that those wallets had ever done was receive some Solana. So they weren't connecting to some hinky site and some sketchy transaction. This was both on iOS and Android devices. And the private keys were either generated on or imported to mobile. Now, amusingly, the central exchange operators think that you have a short memory. Here's an example. CZ tweeted out about the fact that Solana wallets were getting drained. Then he said, quote, "For remediation, send the funds to a cold wallet or a centralized exchange like Binance." The CEO of OKX got in on it too, tweeting, quote, "It might be advisable to move your funds to a hardware wallet or a trusted exchange like OKX to protect yourself from this hack." Do they think that we're silly or that our memories are that short? I am among thousands, if not millions, of users with funds stuck on Voyager. I am very likely never going to see that money back. I knew that Voyager wasn't allowing transfers off for some coins, and I took the risk and I lost because I kept my money on a centralized exchange. Not financial advice, but damn, get a hardware wallet, put your crypto in cold storage. Don't leave it for the scumbags to steal. At the time of writing, the global crypto market cap is $1.06 trillion. It's down 0.9% in 24. The top 5 cryptos by market cap are Bitcoin down 0.56%, Ethereum down 1.01%, Tether, USDC, and Binance Coin up 5.02%. On the NFT side of the house, their global market cap is also down 0.18%. Sales volume is up 0.49% in 24 hours. According to CoinMarketCap, the top 5 NFT collections by sales volume are CryptoPunks, followed by Space ID, Nina's Super Cool World, Otherdeed, and Bored Apes. Now keep in mind, some of these collections have very volatile prices, so do your own research. Senator Debbie Stabenow and Senator John Boozman are on the U.S. Senate Agriculture Committee. Stabenow is the chair. Boozman is the ranking member. Well, today they introduced something called the Digital Commodities Consumer Protection Act. If it sounds sort of familiar, it should. We've been waiting on it for months. However, don't get it confused. You see, the House of Representatives introduced a bill last April. It is a very similar sounding bill called the Digital Commodities Exchange Act. And while both bills seek to add additional responsibilities to the Commodity Future Trading Commission, that said, this is not a companion bill. Now, the biggest change here is that the bill defines digital commodities, and then it places Bitcoin and Ethereum in that definition, making them commodities. Now, that doesn't apply to some tokens, which would be securities. Securities get regulated by the Securities Exchange Commission. Digital commodities go to the CFTC. So this bill sets up several new categories. There's one category, and then there's several subcategories under that. Now, the main category, that of digital commodity platform, falls under the purview of the CFTC. That said, they could cross-register with the SEC so they can safely and legally handle securities. Some subcategories include digital commodity broker, digital commodity custodian, digital commodity dealer, and digital commodity trading facility. Beyond that, the bill requires the registration of, quote, associated persons of digital commodity brokers and digital commodity dealers. Now, this bill was well received by the crypto community. Jake Travinsky is the policy head for the Blockchain Association. He called it, quote, a good bill overall and confirms a growing consensus for CFTC regulation. No less than Sam Bankman-Fried commented on the bill. He tweeted to his 750,000 followers, quote, we would find it constructive and healthy to register under such a regime, finally bringing comprehensive customer protections and oversight to spot crypto commodity markets in the U.S. It would help strengthen liquidity while fighting against bad actors in the ecosystem. He continued with praise for the senators, writing, quote, "It's also really inspiring to see our senators working in a bipartisan, constructive way to help strengthen America's regulatory frameworks. They and our regulators have developed a strong understanding of the digital asset ecosystem and how to effectively regulate the space." Which, I have to agree with. If crypto becomes a fight between conservatives and liberals, if it devolves into yet another endless war between the left and the right, both sides lose. My biggest problem here with this bill is leftover ambiguity. Okay, so this bill says that Bitcoin and Ethereum aren't securities. Okay, that's cool. What about the rest? Because it doesn't make that clear at all. So let's say this bill gets passed as is. The SEC is going to continue to play SEC games and claim authority for every token under the sun other than Bitcoin and ETH. And looking at the way the SEC seems to be content to play things, they'll claim that authority by surprise, much like the way that they handled the Wahi case with Coinbase. Now, that said, this bill will not get passed, and it certainly will not get passed as is. Senators Lummis and Gillibrand also have a bill that expands the powers of CFTC. And Lummis and Gillibrand's bill got its start in the Senate Ag Committee just like this one. And we haven't seen what Representatives Maxine Waters and Patrick McHenry are working on. That said, they're on the Financial Services Committee, which holds oversight over the SEC. So that's why it's expected that their bill is going to be much more favorable to the SEC. And I say none of them go through. Not anytime soon, and certainly not as is. It is way too close to the end of term. There are less than 100 days left to the midterm elections. Nobody's voting on anything potentially controversial in the midterms. Those elections don't win themselves. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. You stay safe out there. Watch out for yourselves, but watch out for each other too. We'll see you tomorrow night.